very pleasant evening, my dear Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. This is Sergeant Adam Sahib, welcoming you all to an eventful evening. A wonderful meeting is lined up today, and I hope you all have a rocking evening today. So let me ask you all a few questions. How do you feel when you are presenting and someone is walking around or moving around, or someone's phone is ringing? Or how would you feel when someone says something which is hurting the sentiment of the audience? I hope you all try to understand what I am trying to say. And please take your call accordingly. Well, the theme for today's meeting is, every experience makes you grow. During my 6th grade, we had a 75-year-old man as a Sanskrit teacher. Now, he was a very simple, traditional person who wore very simple clothes. And I still remember when he came up for his first class, we couldn't control our laugh. Due to his age, he was unable to stand straight, and his right arm was paralyzed. And we all wondered how he could possibly continue the class in this condition. But once he started, he left us all spellbound with his knowledge and his awe-inspiring stories. This taught me a very important life lesson, that the wisdom and stability that experience carries with it can never be replaced and is priceless. Now, the next person to come on stage, during my journey as Sergeant Adam, whenever I used to face tricky situations, she was always the first person that I would consult. And she used to give me practical solutions in a jiffy, bringing all her experience to the fore. She believes that if you put your heart and soul into something, the entire universe make sure that you achieve whatever you desire. Without any further delay, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Hannah Victoria.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sahib, for bringing the house in order. A very good evening, my dear fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests.
Good evening.
I call to order meeting number 1350. How many of you are first-time guests here? If you can please raise your hand. Okay, great. Oh, quite a few. May I request you to please kindly stand and your name and what brings you to Bangalore Toastmasters Club?
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Shruti Sharma, and yes, why I'm here, because I have some problem. When I see crowd, I get scared, so I want to come out of that fear, and that's the reason I'm here.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Thank you, Shruti. Thank you. Members and guests, how do we welcome our newcomers? Today is a very special meeting. It is a milestone meeting, and it's 1350, and we've themed it as the Veterans Meeting. All the role takers in today's meeting have been in our Toastmasters for quite some time, over several years basically, and they have worked on their craft consistently. So basically a hint to all the guests here that Toastmasters is a journey. It is not a short-term goal. You continuously learn. Now, the guests, you can please speak with Toastmaster Surekha, our Vice President membership, after the meeting for more details about Toastmasters. The minutes of the previous meeting have not been sent, so our secretary will send last minute's meeting and the minutes of this meeting together this week. So moving on, I would give you 2 points which I have learned in my life. And you can say experienced or through the knowledge I've gained. The first is that there is nothing called common sense. MS Dhoni, when he was asked, what is the biggest lesson you learned during your captaincy? So he says, the biggest lesson which I learned as a captain is that there is nothing called as common sense. What may seem to you as common knowledge or logical may not be necessarily true for another person. At a zebra crossing, you would but think it is just common sense for people to use that zebra crossing instead of crisscrossing through the vehicles when all of us are just waiting for that green signal. But there are many people who do it who may not know what a zebra crossing is for. The second point I'd like to mention is that the role of mentors in our lives, how important it is. I would define one aspect of a mentor is a person who can see that possibility in you which you yourself do not see, you do not believe in that. Most of my life I have been a mediocre. I still am to a large extent, but then I realized it. When I joined Toastmasters, one senior Toastmaster came and he asked me, would you join the XCOM? I laughed and I said, no ways, I have no clue how the working is. And he said, no, but I know you will handle it. Just for that one reason that he mentioned that to me, 3.5 years ago, I joined the executive committee. It's a big misnomer that being in the committee means you are doing service to people. It's not a paid role. But where else would you get the training from founders, from IITs, IIMs, from professors who are gold medalists, entrepreneurs, CAs? All this training you will get to being in the XCOM. It trains being in the XCOM gives you that leadership skills, trains you for free. Not for free. Basically, what you have to give is your head space, your heart space, and your hand space. And you will learn brilliant things being in the committee. Why I'm telling you this is that the elections are coming. So when anybody asks you to join the XCOM committee, please jump in. It is an opportunity of a lifetime. Moving on, I'd like to introduce to you the Toastmaster of today. He has been a Toastmaster for over 13 years. He says that Toastmasters is the best platform to learn your leadership and your public speaking skills. He's a great sportsman. He loves sports. He loves soccer. He loves hockey. And he says he can spend hours and hours on playing the game bridge and chess. He has been in Toastmasters for a long time. And very great evaluator. I have seen heard multiple of his evaluations, and his evaluation, you will go home to say, okay, XYZ is what you need to work on. Please join me to welcome Toastmaster Sudipta Ghosh.
Thank you, Madam President, for such kind words. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, how are all we doing today?
Fantastic.
Timer, I have an activity for 10 seconds.
The time starts now.
No, not yet. I will give you the signal. What we'll do is, just for 10 seconds, clap the hardest, and laugh the loudest. Let's start. Okay, let me ask you again. How are we all doing today?
Amazing.
Great.
That's more like it. Today is Veterans Day. Anybody know why today is called the Veterans Day? I'm not talking about the meeting. The day as such is Veterans Day.
Celebrated world over, basically the military celebrates.
Yes. Yeah. So let me, just for the history buffs, let me tell you more. And Madam, when you sent out the communication earlier in the day, you mentioned the 11th day of the 11th month. This is one week that you missed. It's the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. In 1918, this was the Armistice Day when World War I officially ended. The agreement to end the war was signed at 5 a.m. in the morning. It took another 6 hours and 3,000 more soldiers dead, with the last soldier dying at 10:59 a.m. for the war to officially end. And that's the significance of the 11th hour of the day. That's it. Today, in honor of the veterans, the meeting has been christened as the Veterans Day. You know what? I don't really like the term veterans. We have such cool terms, millennials, Gen Z, and veterans. Come on. So I went ahead and coined a new term for us veterans, Gen Y. Now here's a tongue twister for you. Why Gen Y? Because why? We are young at heart. And why do I say that? Let's go back to the theme of the meeting. Each experience makes you grow. And as we grow with experience, we learn with each experience. And it has been scientifically proven that as we learn, we keep growing younger and younger. The Toastmasters platform has given me many opportunities to learn over the years. I will recall one small incident which helped in my growth. I've always dreaded tabletop session and have spent most of the time in the session avoiding eye contact with the tabletop master. So this happened in the pre-WhatsApp era. The tabletop master of the week had sent out a mail asking for self-nomination for the upcoming session. With great enthusiasm, I penned the mail nominating myself. But now, should I send it or no? Send no. With heart racing and with great trepidation, finally I hit the send button. And that's when the growth happened. Not that overnight I became a great tabletop speaker, but I did take a step forward in that journey. That just the very event of clicking on the send, should I say, I went from dreading the session to being scared of the tabletop session. There are many such experiences which helped us grow in life. If we go back 100 years, a plethora of experiences led to the growth of the founder of Toastmasters International, Dr. Ralph C. Smedley. He perceived this innate feeling in people to communicate more, but not really knowing how to do that. So in 1905 in Bloomington in Illinois, he started what is called unofficially the first Toastmasters Club. He changed cities, the club died out, but he carried his learnings with him. He started it again in the next city, again it died out. Finally, in the year 1924, October 22nd, he started what ended up becoming the first official Toastmasters Club. The seed he planted on that day has blossomed into an oak tree with branches in 141 countries, some 14,000 branches or clubs, and over 350,000 leads or members. A typical Toastmasters meeting, for the benefit of new guests, has 3 sessions. One, the prepared speech session, where a member comes in as per the guidelines, speaks as per the guidelines. The next session is this one I'm still scared about. This is the table topic session or the impromptu speaking session. We will see that in action shortly. And the third session, probably the most coveted session of the day, is where, should I say, a galaxy of Toastmasters, led by the sun in the middle, the general evaluator, along with his team of evaluators and tag teams, give you a feedback on or show you the mirror on what you did well and what you need to do a little more better. While we'll come to the evaluators and the general evaluator later in the day, let me go forward and introduce you to the tag team. Please come. Tag as in T. T stands for timer. Essaying the role of timer today is a person, a debonair person. And apart from being a great speaker, he has this unique ability. I heard him speaking in a table topic session 2 weeks back. He talked something about going through the woods, and to the extent that by the time he was done speaking, the table topic master had forgotten what topic he had given. So, Puneet, could you read out your role as the timer?
To members and guests, my role is pretty simple. I have to make sure the meeting ends at 8:30 and everybody who's on the dais gets the time they are allotted. Now for some veterans, to just clarify, President gets allotted 8 minutes in total throughout the meeting. The PMOD gets 9 minutes in total, and the GE gets 8 minutes in total. Now, when I ring the bell for the speakers and evaluators, it doesn't mean stop talking, I don't care. It means I care for the rest of the audience members. I'm so sorry. Yeah. And just to reiterate for guests, green means if it's a speech from 4 to 6 minutes, at 4 minutes I'll raise the green card, at 5 minutes yellow card, and at 6 minutes the red card. Same applies for table topics. At 1 minute the green card, 1.5 minutes the orange yellow card, and at 2 minutes the red card. Everybody who comes on stage has a 30 seconds buffer after the red card before I ring the bell. Okay? And for the members, I'll also be color coding your times. So if you get the report, it will be easy for you to sift through. Thanks. Over to the table Toastmaster today.
Thank you, Puneet. Essaying the role of our counter today is a distinguished Toastmaster who loves serene places and claims that she can hear music in silence. No, I'm not sure how she does that. Let's hear it from her.
The Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, esteemed guest, not esteemed, brilliant guest. My role today is, all these clutch words to note down and to correct and give my report when I am called to do so.
Thank you, Kaisa. Essaying the role of grammarian is a short film maker of repute. He started off making the short film Junction and right now has short stories every week in your inbox. Let's hear it from the ebullient Alan.
As a grammarian, I have a very simple but very important objective. That is to ensure that I throw light on the good usage and not so good usage of the English English language. Now, with that objective, I also would like to introduce to you the word of the day, which is ebullient, which does not mean and does not have anything to do with bullying. It actually is, the meaning is cheerful and full of energy. Now, usage of the same is, after the Toastmaster of the day, Sudipto conducted a 10-second activity of clapping and laughing. Everyone in the hall were ebullient. So please request you to use the word ebullient and to showcase that the TMOD will use the sentence right now.
Thank you, ebullient Alan. Please note my quota is done. Let's move on to the main section, to the prepared speech section. Before I call upon the first speaker, let me hear it from the evaluator. The evaluator, when I asked him what is one thing which can speak to the theme of this meeting, he mentioned that he grew up in a small place where, because of his communication skills, people always felt that he's super intelligent, and this person did not feel so. But he had to grow himself to come up to those expectations. Let's hear from Richard the guidelines of the first speech.
Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, distinguished guest. Now, the speaker will be attempting project 1 from level 1 of leadership path, and the purpose of this project is write and deliver a speech to introduce yourself to the club, and time limit is 4 to 6 minutes. Over to the
Since the first speaker is attempting his icebreaker, I can't say much about him. But one thing I know, he has led the theme of the meeting. Every experience in Toastmasters has made him grow. May not be as much vertically, but yes, otherwise. Let's hear it from the first speaker for today, Umakant.
On a winter evening in Bangalore, there was a hockey match that was being played between two schools. The umpire whistles and points out to the penalty corner. The penalty corner's shot is taken. The ball gets deflected from the stick of another player right onto the face of another player. The player is down with a bloody nose and is really seeing stars. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, the player with the bloody nose was yours truly. Well, I was born not in the summer of '69 as Toastmaster Joe's, but I was born in the summer of '68. To be precise, May 1968. I was born in a town called Haveri in North Karnataka. My dad, my late dad, was a professor of English. My mom, a homemaker. A year later, after I was born, my dad was transferred to Bangalore, where I spent my childhood. The childhood full of memories. The days, especially the holidays, I can remember it still. Early morning, we used to climb some tree at the end of the street, and we used to get down at the end of the street. On the way, a lot of guava trees, a lot of mangoes, a lot of tender coconuts. Those were the days which we spent in our summers. Fast forward 12 years later, my dad got transferred to Bangalore. In Bangalore, I joined a school in Malaysia. I did pretty well in my schooling. I came out with flying colors in my schooling. Then, I completed my engineering in Bangalore University in the year 1990. Currently, I'm working as a Vice President Cyber Security in a company called Smith. My journey in the corporate world is about 31 years. I've worked in different companies. Each of the companies has given me something. I learned a lot from each of these companies. The longest tenure which I had was in Hewlett Packard. That company gave me a lot of opportunities to go abroad. I met a lot of different people in different countries, worked with different people of different culture, met, spoke to them, had a great experience. I still have cherished some friendship with a lot of people who I worked with. Coming back, I met my wife, Sunita. I think I still remember the date. That was on 31st December 1988. That's a long time ago, right? Yeah, we were in touch for some time. Then her dad got transferred to my own B. We lost touch. But we still were we were still communicating through snail mail. When they came back to Bangalore, we restarted, we reignited, I could say. We got married in the year 1997. We've been blessed with 2 children, Arjun and Pranav. Arjun currently is pursuing his higher education in Canada. My younger son will be graduating, Pranav will be graduating this summer. What brought me to Toastmasters? It was a drive with Toastmaster Claudius from his office to another office. I was sitting next to him. I was working with him instantly those days. It was in the car when I was sitting next to him. He told me about Toastmasters. And he gave me that application once we reached back office. He gave me the application to join. That's my first icebreaker speech 26 years ago. Was in the same room. I still remember vividly an incident that happened that day. I made small chits of notes. There was no power when I started my speech. But in between the speech, the power came. And the fan, this very fan, blew up all my notes. But there's one person who was sitting right opposite, was the founder president, Toastmaster Robinson out there. The encouragement that he gave me, carry on, sitting over there. I think that's an encouragement that he gave me, has taken me to a different level. Toastmasters has given me a lot. I've served in the district in different capacities. But I came back now. As I start my journey again, they say a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And this single step, the first step which I have taken today in my pathways, I'm sure Toastmasters will encourage me and give me all the support. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Umakant. I'm sure if the power had gone today, that would have not made any difference to a great speech. let's move on to the next speaker. And before I go on to the speaker, let me talk a little bit about the evaluator of the speaker. I would say this evaluator epitomizes something Buddha said eons back. Thousands of candles can be lit from one single candle. And this evaluator, the teacher, a mentor, a guide, has really shown path to thousands of fellow members, Toastmasters, and so on. The evaluator is none other than Rajdeep, but we will have Alan read out the guidelines.
The purpose of this project is for the member to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story. The speaker requests that this speech is not recorded, so secretary please.
Thank you so much. Really a profound, heart-wrenching story. Sometimes, makes us think what next. We go after so many other things, and these incidents really is a reality check for us. With that said, let's move on to the third speaker for today. And before I go to the speaker, let me call upon this evaluator. This evaluator is one of the most gentlest soul I've seen in this club, one of the very lovable person. When I asked him about the theme of the meeting, he mentioned that always was not the case. He mentioned that as a teenager he was very brash and aggressive, and with that he seemed to have hurt somebody's feeling. But that led to his personal growth. Since then he has been sensitive to other people's feeling, and the end product is what we have today as Joe Spot.
The speaker is attempting Project 1 speech from level 2 of the Innovative Planning Pathway. The purpose of this project is for the member to identify his or her primary leadership style or styles. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of his or her primary leadership style or discuss leadership styles in general. Timer, please note the speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you.
Thank you, Paul. So this speaker is a returning Toastmaster to this club. He was a member for quite a while. Had to go on to another city for his business commitments, back to the city again. And I don't think there's a better speaker to talk on the subject, given that he's a self-professed self-development champion. So when I asked him about what he thought about the theme for today, interestingly he said he has grown 60x in Toastmasters. How so? Well, he used to get his thoughts together in a minute before, now he does it in seconds. 60x growth. Friends and Toastmasters, let's put your hands together to welcome on stage none other than Ratan Shetty.
Thanks, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. There was this person, this brave person, who jumped into a well and saved a drowning child. When he did that, when he came up, everybody was applauding him, and he seemed to be just searching for somebody. When asked, he said, "All this is okay, first tell me, who pushed me inside the well?" Fellow Toastmasters, today I'd like to discuss two leaders with whom I've worked in earlier organizations who did not have to be pushed in order to pursue their vision. Mr. Sushil Mehta was the managing director of Aventor Performance Materials around a decade back. He was driven by the vision to develop an organization which was an offshoot of Ranbaxy, and organization building was the vision that he had, which he pursued successfully. Mr. Suresh Wazirani, the managing director of TransAsia Biomedicals, is a person who is propelled by the vision to build a healthier and happier world. Both these great visionaries have all the leadership qualities that we can speak of. Whether we talk about optimism, whether we talk about courage, whether we talk about decision making, all of these. But they were common to these. What was different between these two great leaders was the fact that they had totally different leadership styles. As per Toastmasters International, leadership style is the overall approach of a leader. That is the concept of leadership style. Mr. Mehta was cool as a cucumber. He coached and built people according to their potential to make them perform. He also built an organization which was a happy place to work in. And that's what the organization's motto was, an organization that cares. On the other hand, Mr. Wazirani was somebody who believed in numbers. The bottom line, data is what matters to him. And it's not a big surprise. He built an organization from scratch. You know, when I joined the organization, the incumbent, a friend of mine, who was the product head, told me, listen, one thing I'll tell you about this organization. There's only one thing that you need to remember. Sabka Malik Ek. So what? Sabka Malik Ek? Everybody has got just one boss here. So you better be aware of that. So that was the autocratic style. Both these leaders had this penchant, however, to be flexible in their leadership styles. And that is quite essential, because as per the need of the situation, you need to be flexible. The autocrat, Mr. Wazirani, when he saw that these strategies, one particular strategy had failed, he took the pace setter approach. He jumped in, coached people, brought them up. The coach and the pace setter, Mr. Sushil Mehta, had to look at fine data in order to take the decision of setting up a manufacturing plant. So flexibility in leadership style is important to lead from the front. Coming to my own leadership style, some of you have known me for years now, having been in this club. I am, as per the assessment which I have undertaken with this project itself, an altruist and a coach. And that also resonates with the business that I am into. I am in the healthcare business, where my products are for critically ill patients. Hence, this approach works for me. And my strengths are a sense of logic and amiability. Two areas of improvement of mine are the listening aspect, listening to understand especially, and the second is to stop being emotional when I need to take decisions. Flexibility is very important for leaders. As per Sigma assessment systems, there are 3 ways that a leader can be flexible in their leadership styles. First is to look for opportunities to be flexible. All of us have this opportunity. How do we have this opportunity? I was treasurer at this very club. I was VP membership. I was VP education. And recently I was president at my previous club. All these different opportunities gave me the chance to explore other leadership styles. Like as a president, I had to look at the results in terms of the membership, in terms of educational goals, results had to be looked into. So the leadership style flexibility, number 1, is about the opportunity. Look for opportunities to have a different leadership style. Second is take advice. You don't need to do everything yourself. You can take advice from people. when you are stuck, when you're into a bottleneck situation. The third is to monitor your progress. I'm not talking about big progresses. I'm not even talking about daily plans. What I do on a weekly basis is for the different roles that I play at home, at work, I prepare a small checklist of what are the different things I need to do and when in the week. So this is one way you can do it. Leadership as of today connotes also being more vulnerable. And vulnerability is not a sign of weakness anymore like it used to be in the olden days. Today, if I was to look at that story of that gentleman who jumped into the well and he got out, and when he was confronted with all the people, probably his approach, his response would have been, "Thank you very much. I was in this phase of indecision and thanks that you made me do this, and it was such a noble job." Fellow Toastmasters, leadership is about leading from the front and also about inspiring people. As Zig Ziglar says, leadership is about building people who build organizations. Lead from the front, lead by example, and inspire others. Over to you.
Thank you, Ratan. Super speech. So who pushed me into this well of taking the Toastmasters role today? I don't see that person Vaidyanathan around. So that's a hallmark of a good leader. Push and disappear. That's it. Let's head into a 5 minutes networking break. Make sure it's 5 minutes. And while doing so, please put in your votes for the speaker. The passcode is, no surprise, veteran. Veteran, and let's do 5 minutes. Thank you. Let's settle down. Okay. Let's get started. Thank you all for maintaining time. It seems I'm the culprit. I've already been read the riot act by the timer, so I will keep it short. Let's heading into the next session. The next session is the table topic session. You will hear it more from the table topic master. The only thing I will tell about this person is what led to his growth as a person. What he mentions is he used to be calling everybody right and left, right. You are a waste fellow. You are good for nothing. But I mean that's just an expression we all use. But it seems that impacted someone badly, and that person went into depression. Credit to our tabletop master that he worked on this person and brought him up again. And let's see how he brings up and rocks this next part of the meeting. Let's hear it for our past president, Ayyappa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sudito. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Okay, set for the game? Yes. So table topics are speaking off the cuff, spontaneous speaking. This is very important, right? Then prepared speeches, I would say. That's what it is coming for help in our regular life, right? This is one platform, Toastmasters. Okay, you can speak whatever you want, except hurting the sentiments of the audience, and you can experiment whatever you want, right? So we tried it out. I mean, there are certain techniques like prep method. We have so many things, and of course, we had a wonderful session from Dr. Rajdeep 2 weeks back. Those who attended, I think, have attended these topics much in a clever way, and others, however it goes, okay, the time is yours, right? It varies for maybe 5 minutes, sometimes 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, depends. Okay, I'll tell you how the structure goes. Yeah. The first topic of this evening is come up with 5 positive thoughts to overcome 1 negative thought. Okay, come up with 5 positive thoughts to come up with 1 negative thought. The topic goes to Toastmaster Sureka.
5 positive thoughts to overcome 1 negative thought. Thought 1, live full, die empty. That is when you tap into your deepest potential, bring your ideas to life, bring your voice to life, bring your potential and live it through. Number 2, someone else's opinion does not have to be your reality. You will face a lot of criticism, a lot of flack, a lot of negative content along the way. Take what, if it matters to you, take it, sidestep the negative energy of criticism and take whatever positive there is in it. If there isn't any, let it go. Third point, bring your music to life. Your music plays only for you. Only you can hear the beat of the drummer that beats for you. Don't forget to live up to your ultimate potential. Therein lies your strength. Number 4, don't let the ghosts of your unused potential haunt you on your deathbed. It is said that when we are about to die, our ideas, our gifts come back to us and say, you didn't use us, we were given to you. Don't let that happen. And number 5, always ask yourself, did I live my life well? Because if the answer is a no, there is nothing more sadder than that. Let it be a rocking yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for these wonderful tips to how to overcome the negativity. Next topic is, you can only overcome your fears by facing them. Don't run away. You can only overcome your fears by facing them. Don't run away. The topic to Kollappan, Toastmaster Kollappan.
I was wanting to do this speech because after set a topic that came to mind was I am 27 by the way. I have a 5-year experience in civil industry and I thought of joining in MBA. First day they have orientation day and I was sitting among like 1,000 students. All of them were like below 20. I was 27 and they asked like anyone have experience and like only 3 to 4 members were showing hands. After like completing my orientation and I went back to my room and then I was feared like I am the only old person in that college, how will I manage? Then I went to with that fear I went to my friend's rooms. I was asking him whether to go to college tomorrow or I can I can get the fees and go back to my work. Then morning I woke up and then what came to my mind I don't know. Like I went to the college, like I saw some old people like me. Then I was happy. Then I started going to college. Now it's good. Like I see, like I became young afterwards.
Any persons, you can contact him later. Yeah. Okay. Next, I would request to Vishwanath, Toastmaster Priyanka, and Toastmaster Vijay Kalapundri to come on stage. Okay. Timer note. Timer, please. Hello. Yeah. 4 minutes. Yeah. So the theme is you are in a forest, you are hunting such a food, and you lost your way. That's a theme. And you just form a skit for 4 minutes. Your time starts now. We can brainstorm and come with a skit and you can perform.
Vijay, we have come here to this.
No, you can think for a moment.
speech other day at Toastmaster. We all landed MM Hills. This thing like this. There is a temple which is surrounded by a lot of hills, and I don't know now. It's already 8 o'clock. How do we go back?
Yeah, that's what even I remembered. I think because it's a pitch dark now. I don't know where to go now, and we don't know how to reach that place where we can have a shelter.
Somshekar sir's speech got us so curious that we came to this place without even knowing more information, what time and when we have to head back. And though now we are stuck in the dark amidst the mountains where there are no lights, and we're not even able to see a single person where we can even ask for help.
Yeah, you guys are right actually. Like, there is also a fear of getting stolen and mugged. But let's do one thing. Let's head back to the temple, what we heard in the...
To even head back to this temple, we should be able to see something. It's pitch dark. The only beautiful thing is the skies, which is very clear. You can see the stars twinkling around. But that's just not going to help us reach the temple.
At the same time, I see that the animals are rolling. Not sure where to reach, and probably even the temple and feeling hungry.
So I have an idea. Let's say both of you have the phones which are fully charged. Why don't... So my phone is...
I think you will get there in the midst of the mountain where the network is going to be real.
No, we use the torch to head back. We use the torch to go back to the...
I do agree. Yes. We can try that option and see if it works.
Anyways, I always had a wish to do something very adventurous in life. So finally I get this opportunity to use this path, have the equipment that I have, and walk away and find my way. What an adventurous trip this would land up to be. Whatever you
can just look ahead. There are marks of tiger passing by.
That's not it. It's a great adventure experience. And my life is unpredictable.
Let's try it out. Even if some animals come on us, let's face it.
We are
animals are the more calmer we are, the animals reciprocate that way. So let us take that option and follow our path.
So Vishnu, actually Priyanka is planning for that selfie which she was talking about.
Yes.
So all that she's planning at MM Hills food that place. Like, she wants to take selfie with tiger and
probably yes. And then probably even I might fell down if I don't get the food. And really hungry. I need something.
We are in the midst of the forest, so you don't have to worry. I'm sure inside the forest there is something that is edible. We have to figure things out.
Yeah.
That is called survival.
Provided we move forward.
So let's
Finally, hope you all got food. Thank you. Next topic is to Toastmaster Gururaj and Toastmaster Naomi. And Toastmaster Gururaj, you are the father. Okay, and Naomi is the daughter, and you have to convince your daughter to marry of your choice. Marry the guy of your choice. You have to convince her to marry a guy of your choice. You are elder, you are 7-year-old.
We are enforcing.
Because Naomi, you see, being your father today, I realized that all my choices that I've had for you is wrong, completely wrong. I made you pick a school, you didn't like that. I made you select the dresses you didn't like. I made you biryani the other day, you didn't like that flavor, that particular biryani. So today I'm thinking, how about you select the guy whom you want to marry?
Are you okay?
That's a brilliant question. Well, because today I'm feeling more than okay. Today is the day I realized that I gotta be a person who lets you live your life the way you want to live.
So, anyone I want?
Yes.
Okay,
How's
well,
that?
I'm just scared you're going to say something else tomorrow.
Well, let's see the kind of guy that you bring home.
Okay.
Is there somebody you like? Want to talk about it?
Not really.
Not really?
Sure, there's this one person at work. And maybe next
talking to Danya and Suhas. Yes. Danya, your topic is, which is your favorite sound? Okay, and Suhas has to disturb you while you're speaking. He will disturb you. Yes, come. You can do whatever you want, Suhas. Choice is yours. Yes.
My favorite sound, I think everybody's favorite sound is their own name. Daniel!
Don't speak.
You know my name? You know my name? Would you like to know the meaning of a name? It means graceful. And Danya. Do you like the ring of it? Oh yes, that's exactly what Danya does. Danya loves disturbing people. Thank you so much to us. Danya, yes, that's the name that we should remember, and everybody here should remember. Don't forget, Danya. You Danya Ho. Happy Danya Ho. So us, you should remember Danya's always going to be ringing in your mind. And you must remember when you're sleeping, you can't sleep tonight because you'll be like Danya, 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 Danya. Who is that woman? And what is she here to trouble me about? No, I'm not here to trouble you. I'm going to inspire you, Suhas. Think about Danya, get inspired. Danya. Yes, Danya means graceful, Danya means blessed, and let's all be blessed. May you have a blessed evening, Suhas. Your headache, Danya, will help with the headache. Tell me which part of your head is aching. Suhas, which part of your head is aching? Danya's taken. I'll tell you how I'm always cured headaches. You go to the kitchen and sing a song. Danya, Danya, Danya. Yes. I'm happy that you like my name so much. And you're going to think about me tonight. And I'm not going to come as Mohini Pisas. I'm going to come as Danya that inspires you. That inspires you not to be quiet. Not to be quiet. So, Danya cannot be quiet. You cannot be quiet today. Can you try talking to me? Shall we say something together to the whole crowd here? Have a good night, all of you. And think about Danya. Let Danya not come and disturb the night. Thank you.
Next topic goes to Chaitra. The topic is Chaitra. Where are you, Chaitra? Yes, Chaitra. Yes, your topic is why Friday is called Friday. Why Friday is called Friday? Yes.
Thank God it's Friday. I just had the most, tiring week. I didn't get to sleep. And you know what it really feels like? It feels like my brain is fried. Coming to think about it, that is probably why we call Friday. You're fresh in the beginning of the week, you're very optimistic, and then your tasks for the week keep cascading from Monday to Tuesday, incomplete work. The rest of the tasks keep cascading on to Wednesday, Thursday, and finally when you reach Friday, your brain does not know how to finish your work, and you panic, and then your brain is completely fried. So my friends, this completely weird thought came into my mind just now. I know that whoever named Friday had this in their mind when they gave it this name. But
Thank God it's Friday. Yes. Next topic is be humble on your way up. Be humble on your way up. Toastmaster Richards.
Kamlesh.
Yes, Kamlesh.
Be humble on your way up. So I think it's a very appropriate topic for most of the Toastmasters. And I think the relation that taught all of us, I think what Somsekhar sir mentioned that as a Toastmaster, we always look at how to improve our communication, but it is always important that how you look at your life. whether you can create some difference to the life of others. And I think that is the most important thing, and I can relate to what Sulekha ma'am also said, that when you are dying on a bed and what if you are regretting something that I have not created something different to the life of others. So that will be a most saddest part of your life. I think, and I think best thing that I have learned from the Toastmaster, other than the communication skill, that how to be connected to your life. Because when you are listening to the stories of people, and you can see that how we are connected and how you should be grounded. So I think it makes important for us as a community that you should be grounded and be humble and create a difference to the life of others. Thank you.
You're lucky. Okay, topic goes to our ex-member Payal. Your topic is, should we really make everybody happy?
Very good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests. Should we really make others happy? I really don't know about anything of that sort. At the moment, I'm just trying to make myself happy by coming to the club, because this makes a huge difference. Bangalore Toastmasters Club, I neglected for a long time. This is before the COVID scene. I tried to put a lot of negative thoughts in my mind that I should not come into BTMC. But then, at this moment, I'm right here in front of the stage, in front of all of you, and this really makes me happy. So making myself, making me feel good, I think that's more important, because it all starts with yourself. Thank you.
Now, the topic is Shrishti, right? Guest. Shruti. So we have a guest, Shruti. She's not a Toastmaster, and Guru is a veteran Toastmaster. So you have to enroll Shruti for Toastmasters. Please come. Yes. She is very adamant, very reluctant, and you should enroll her for Toastmasters. Yes, your hand, please. Yeah. Your hand, actually.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I was witnessed the complete session.
Today is my first day.
First day. You must have witnessed the complete session, right?
Yeah.
So far.
So far, yeah.
You have witnessed the president's speech.
Yes.
So way back, some 4 or 5 years back when she joined Toastmasters, somebody requested her to be part of a committee.
Right.
Yeah, and she has completed 2 terms as a president.
Right.
And all the speakers today who was here, they have not only completed their paths in their communication plan, but they have also taken several roads in their path. So this is a place which will not only enhance our communication skills, it also enhances your leadership skills. So be it at your house, you can showcase your skills. Be it at your office, you can do it. Be it with your friends, you can do that. Anywhere, you can sell yourself. And you will be aligned anywhere across the globe. So we have around about 3,600 clubs worldwide. So round about so almost about 14 hours every day. So you can have a lot of networking. Where are they coming from? Which area you are from? Whitefield. So what is your profession?
I work for Manpower Group India, so I take care of sales and operation for that.
Fantastic. I am also from HR. I work for it in the past. Yeah, I work for it. Yeah. So this is the place you have to join.
Now, do we have Sashank here? Yeah, Sashank and Chirag. Yes. So, Chirag, your 70-year-old wife and his 80-year-old husband, and you should tell her quit smoking. Advise, quit smoking. He's a chain smoker. Yes.
You are 80 years. 70 years.
And you are 70. The wife, husband. Okay, you should. convince your wife, to quit smoking.
Who is smoking? Wife or
Who's
husband?
smoking?
Wife or husband?
Who is 80? Shashank is 80 and I'm 70. Yeah, you are smoking.
He is smoking.
Wife is smoking. Western side.
Wife is smoking.
Yeah, Western side. Yeah, wife is smoking. Western is from America.
I heard from my neighbors that there is some smoke coming out of the kitchen. I don't see you smoke. I don't smoke myself. But when the neighbor told me that there is some smoke coming, I wanted to come with a big bucket. Then I come and see you have a cigarette in hand. What are you doing? Behind my back? When did you start smoking?
I've been smoking for several years, so you didn't know.
I don't think I'm a very
We have lived over 50 years, we have shared time, and you are coming today, some neighbor has to inform you.
I always thought that smoke was coming from the kitchen and you thought you were burning something there. Now I realize that you're burning a relationship.
So how will I burn something?
I bought you the induction cookware last year for our 59th anniversary. So now how can smoke come out of induction cookware? Now I realize that you have been cheating. I don't know what else you're doing behind my back.
No.
Smoking came into the picture now.
If I am cheating, so what were you doing? Like 50 years you have not seen this, you have not looked at me. So what were you
that I used to smoke in the house and
celebrate. Now I don't feel like that.
After it's best, I think we'll separate. You quit smoking. I'll start smoking on your
Next topic to Johnson, Toastmaster Johnson Bruno D'Souza. Bruno, share at least 2 jokes so that audience will laugh.
2 jokes.
I don't know if they are jokes or not. Today I learned a couple of things. I like adventure. I go on trekking. But I'm never so as calm as our 3 fellows who came and said, "Oh, today we have what do we do?" So calm. It can never happen. Second thing, I have a daughter, she's in 9th standard. Today our beloved Guru Prasad taught me how to talk to her when she finds her life partner. So cool. No harsh words, nothing. And then we have the last couple of days here. We're talking about cheating. Since when did smoking become cheating? Cheating is different from smoking. Please don't redefine these words. Sometimes I also smoke. But I don't cheat. I guess today what happened today was in Toastmasters, first of all, you confuse everybody. And they had all wild imagination. So in summation, whether like it or not, what happened earlier before I came to stage was full of jokes. What do you
Okay, yes, topic to Toastmaster Vidya. Your topic is don't trust easily. Don't trust easily. Should we really trust? Should we really trust the people just by looking at them just in a first meeting? Yeah, should we trust? Yeah, people. Yes.
Good evening, hello Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Good evening. So, what is trust? Trust is something, complete belief in someone else. Okay, now do I believe myself? Do I believe what my thoughts are in the morning and what about my thoughts in the evening? I think I've completely changed. I'm a complete different person. What I think in the morning, I'm different in the evening. So can I trust myself? Well, I can't trust myself. How can I trust someone else? So I think we have to work. I have to work on myself. Then I have to start trusting myself, my thoughts, and then I think I can start trusting others. Thank you very much.
Next topic is do not lower yourself for anyone or anything. Do not lower yourself for anyone or for anything. Yeah. Topic to Toastmaster Abhinandan. Do not lower yourself for anyone or for anything.
Do not lower yourself for anyone or for anything. Yeah, I think what this line is trying to say is that we must always have a certain set of principles and then keep within those principles and live our life. So we might come across situations in our life where the situation might suggest that we compromise our beliefs, we compromise on what we've built our lives on. But if it so happens that you do compromise, then you will start making dents into your identity, and then you will probably have an identity crisis at some point. So have strong principles and live up to them and never break them.
Last topic for this evening. The topic is how you overcome your anger. How you overcome your anger. The topic to Toastmaster Aishwarya.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
This topic is best for me right now because I am an angry person. Though I don't look like one right now, I am an angry person because I am trying to overcome my anger in a way. I am doing these things like journaling, reading book, and focusing on my behavior. After listening to Rajdeep sir's speech about how to do table topics, after that I started actually journaling and identifying your own behavior and patterns, the activity that I do the entire day, focusing on the details that I do. That is making me, helping me become a better person, be calmer in situations when I'm usually not really so calm. And so I'm working on myself. It's a journey and I am still doing that. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you all enjoyed the session. And if I missed out anybody because of paucity of the time, I couldn't call them. So let's give all the speakers a good round of applause.
And let's hear it for Ayappa for We will now head into the general evaluation session. Before I call upon the general evaluator, much has been said and much is known about this person. Like a true Toastmaster is a man of great principles and has refused illegal orders from chief ministers, speakers of the house and law ministers. He's not only the founding father of the club, but like a true father, he has nurtured the club. The club is 25 years strong and I still see him in different meetings, attending very regularly. So let's call upon the youngest of the Gen Y, I would say 25 years old, Sir Robinson Dismurford.
Thank you, Suprato. Good evening, everyone present here.
Good evening.
I have one request to those sitting in the last bench, Shashank, Gururaj, and Gururaj, to please come forward because I want you closer to me. If the seats in front are vacant, our spirit will come. Gururaj, there's a chair here, come. Come, I kept the chair for you here, come. Come. Thank you. Always if you come closer, the speakers get inspiration to speak. This is the third session, general evaluation session. Many of you are coming for the first time, right? Shruti, Mr. Burudi, where is your son?
Number 3.
Okay. How many children you have?
I have 2.
Only 2. Then how?
No, number 3 in different choice.
because I am the eldest of the 12 children to my parents. Yeah. Evaluation is considered the best part of any tabletop set, any meeting of Toastmasters. You have seen the first part, presenting prepared speeches, and second part is tabletop which Mr. Ayappa conducted. He gave opportunity for 20 speakers to speak in a session, and this is your evaluation. But hearing constructive evaluation is hard, very hard for the performance. But one thing I would like to share with you, which happened very recently in India. Recently there was a last judgment from the Supreme Court, Constitution Bench, economical weaker section of the society and the reservation. It was a split or decision. Out of 5 judges, 3 supported and 2 judges opposed. The 2 judges said that it's wrong, illegal, unconstitutional. But the views of the first 3 judges supporting the enactment, supporting the decision of the government to give reservations for the economically weaker sections was upheld. Imagine the dissenters. Among them was, between them was the Chief Justice, previous Chief Justice of India, Lalit. Do you think that Lalit was wrong? But his decision was not accepted by the other 3. Time only will say the same situation is going to apply in Toastmasters. It is the view of ours. Giving a feedback, it is our feedback. It is for those who have performed, about whom we speak, it's for them to accept or not. They are the judges. But in evaluation, while doing the evaluation, let me tell you, we the evaluators have the power to create a speaker or to destroy a speaker. In my life of more than 25 years, or nearly 28 years, that was what I have seen. Persons, members running away from the stage. I still remember we were meeting a little away from here, St. Joseph's European School. Like Mr. Murali, we had one member, Mr. Fernandez, Anthony Fernandez. He had brought his 3 children, including his daughter. She was a student of Mount Carmel. That day she presented her speech, and the evaluation was a little tough. She cried and ran away from the stage, never to come back to Toastmasters. It may not be her mistake. Yeah, I think it was a mistake of her mentor. A girl of 18 years old, she spoke on education. What can one do justification for education in 6 minutes? It's wide subject, very wide subject, to speak on education. She didn't know she should have been talked about it. That's the power of the evaluator. So that's the thing I'm sharing with the evaluators to move forward. Yeah, I am giving the feedback to the whole meeting, right from the beginning. And I reached this call at 5:30 to see, right? Right, Deepak? Will you keep your mobile there? I don't think I heard you saying that don't use the mobile and keep it silent. No, did he say that don't? 3 things are prohibited. One of them is mobile should be silent. You didn't say it. You said it. Then,
He said it in a different way, sir.
Good. Then you must be right. My wife must be right. She says you are deaf sometimes. Say, the role of the evaluator, Mr. Sai Deepak, come a little early and make arrangements here. But I don't know why this board is that board. Look at that side. What's the right side of the proper side of that board? Come. also your minutes. Johnson, next time you have the committee, you're on subcommittee, give them the job, train those people to come up the leadership. Thank you very much for that. Now, moving on. Hannah, you mentioned about the continuous learning. Toastmasters continuous learning, right? Then zebra crossing, why it is? Why is zebra crossing there? I didn't hear your answer for that. And then role of mentors, rightly said, joint committee, very good. Then you introduced the Toastmaster very well. May I request the evaluator, the first speaker, Mr. Richard D'Souza, for your evaluation. Are you comfortable, Mr. Richard?
Yes, I'm comfortable. Speak from here. Yes.
Yeah, you can speak from there.
Yes, comfortable. Yes. General evaluators, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and Umakant in particular. Umakant, no doubt, it was a really great speech, and I would like to tell in acronym ICE. I see how you excelled. E, it was very informative. Bloody Nose, summer of '68, professor of English and homemaker, life at Haveri, Belgaum and Malleshwaram, how Claudius influenced to join Toastmasters, came out very well. C, confidence. You were really confident and you were loud and clear. Though without collar mic, your sound words reverberated nook and corner of this hall. It was very entertaining. Your speech was interspersed with the humor, how notes flew when the fan came to life, and how love between you and Smita reignited when Smita was coming to Bangalore from Udupi, made everyone to laugh, and there was no individual who was entertained by you. Great speech, Umakant, and we would like to hear such kind of speech, many of such speeches in future. Over to General Evaluator, please.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Richard. If any one of you have read this month's Toastmaster, I suggest you to read it. There's a good article about artistic persons, how a club exclusively works for artistic persons as Toastmasters Club. Here we have such a situation and you are seeing this. But these awards are not as artistic, but we are helping our members. Many of you are specially able members. We are very there. And I am really happy that they are taking advantage of this club and are good. One more aspect one more simple question I want to ask you about Mr. Umakant's presentation. What one thing you learned from his speech? It's very important for public speakers. What one thing you learned from his speech? From his presentation? Can anyone tell me? Pardon? No, I couldn't hear. No. Anything else? No, something else is in my mind. See, he said his notes flew away and one person from there asked him, go ahead, go ahead. A similar incident, actually, while presenting his speech, make notes. Don't worry, don't by heart it. Don't strain yourself, make notes. While making notes, use slips, note sheets, small note sheets. Like this is too big, like small sheets. Let that not be very thin, thick, like on the back side of the invitation cards. Then small sheets. Write them in different colors. And one more aspect I want to share with you. One incident took place about 25 years ago in Bangalore where I was present. A big function was going on. Archbishop was the chief guest. And vote of thanks. And then it was a convent function. I was secretary to the law minister. I was there. Law minister was one of the participants. Then one sister, young sister, was asked to represent the vote of thanks. She said, I don't know anything. I was there very close by. The other said, no, we will give you in writing, you just go and read. Sister sat in the back, the person who had written a vote of thanks. Others wrote all notes in sheets and gave it to her. She came and started reading. The moment, same thing what happened during it happened, fan on the left side. All the notes flew away. Then she went on searching and all, and started presenting the vote of thanks. The first thing she said, I am thanking the newspaper reporters and press people and all, she started saying. The other sister, senior sister, said, Archbishop, speak about Archbishop. She went on searching. The chiefs were not numbered. Then said, where is that? Where the hell is Archbishop? Archbishop was there sitting there. Imagine, he's the chief of the priests of Bangalore diocese. And the sister says inherently, where the hell is Archbishop? This should not happen. Yeah. Thank you for that lesson you taught for us and gave me an opportunity to speak. Mr. Rajdeep, you have to give the evaluation about Somshekhar, but Somshekhar is not here.
I assume he's here.
Okay. Others are there.
I assume he's here and he was there. And I also assume that he listened to my recording. So fellow Toastmasters, General Evaluator, and Somshekhar in absentia. I hope you listen to us in the video. Today you gave us a wonderful speech, a very gripping story, and you made us actually climb the Mahadev Maleshwara Betta, the ML Hills. So what were the two very, very great aspects of your speech? One was the conflict. In any good story you need a conflict, and there was amazing conflict right from the time the poison was given, right from the time how the police tortured the trustee, and right from the time the revelation came over the pesticide. So in any good story, if there's a good conflict and there is a grip in that, it brings out a lot of effect in your speech, and that I found was brilliant. The second thing was the characterization. There were a lot of interesting characters in your speech, right from the villainous seer who poisoned, to those two people who lost their near and dear ones with their blank faces, from Chinnathambi, a person who was falsely prosecuted, to your sister who was the public prosecutor, and you yourself. So characterization and conflict were the hallmarks of your speech. That was brilliantly done, and that's what makes a great story. But what were the aspects where you need to improve as a veteran? One, I thought, was the dialogue. Now you were narrating it in the third person, and if you had added dialogue in your speech, it would have added so much effect. I went up to Chinnathambi and what happened? He said, so the police tortured me, but I didn't do anything. So adding that emotion to the speech, or if you would have added the villains, the seer said, I didn't want to do anything, but these people stopped my funds. So in that way, it would have added so much more grip to the story and so much more attraction to the story. So dialogue. The second thing which I think we need to improve is there was a little disconnect at the end. I thought the moral of the story was forced to bring in Toastmasters. Oh, we should help people, we are doing this, etc. I think so the moral of the story was very simple. Power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So let us all be mindful of the fame, power and money which we get, because in case it corrupts us, it corrupts us. But if you had to bring in the Toastmasters, I thought the story was a murder mystery, right? So we as Toastmasters can't go on searching for people who are murdered and then go and counsel them, right? So I thought that should have been a little better. And also the voice was a little disconnected, because I thought you thought it was a very serious issue, so you spoke a little softly, and I could hardly hear it. So if you would have done it a little better, it would have been brilliant. But for the wonderful story, I think so, Somshekhar, you deserve all the glory. Just a little dialogue would have made it go hunky-dory. Thank you.
Thank you, Rusty. May I introduce Paul to hear the speech of Mr. Ratan Shetty. Please come.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, and Toastmaster Ratan Shetty in particular. Now, the first thing about this speech that struck me was credibility. The first word that came to my mind. One is the credibility of the speaker, because he had 15 years of management experience. and he brought forth that entire experience here today. The second one was about the speech, because he put forth the authenticity of the credentials of the two leaders, about the leadership styles that we discussed. I think that gave a lot of authenticity and we could relate to it very well. So that I think was very well done. Besides, you used the stage very well. You have an imposing personality and you used it to the best effect. Now the body of the speech, as I could understand, was broadly categorized into where first you discuss the leadership style of the two visionaries, your own leadership style, and then you emphasize about the importance of flexibility in today's work environment. Now, the points that I want to add, suggestions I want to give to move this to the next level was in the same area. Because I felt the flow of the speech was required certain better arrangement. One, when you discuss the leadership style of the two visionaries, I thought you were fluctuating between the style back and forth. If there was a pattern, we could possibly get it much better. There I felt you said they had common attributes and different leadership styles. So you could have used possibly one situation and explained to us how each of them would have handled it differently. We could have had a better understanding. That would have been a better way. Second, your own leadership style, you talked about your leadership style at the workplace as well as at Toastmasters. I think it was too difficult amongst this to for us to understand. So you could have possibly stuck to your workplace leadership style. That would have been better. And then you talked about the tips on flexibility at the workplace. You had 3 tips for us. Now what I felt here was that the title of your speech was Leading from the Front in Business. But I didn't find that so much in the speech about leading from the front. I found it more about the flexibility that is required. So possibly that could have been the title of your speech, and that part of it also you could have possibly put it a little more clearly where the opportunities and taking advice and monitoring your progress could have been done in a little better, clearer with clarity. That would have the message would have come across very clearly to all of us. Now, I have to conclude that you have really brought in the rich experience, the varied styles of leadership that you have seen, and that was a great learning for us. And so here's wishing you all the very best for your next week.
Thank you, Mr. Jose. Now coming to the table topics, I had congratulated Mr. Ayappa. He gave an opportunity for 20 members to speak. Can you imagine? Table talks is meant for those who could not take part in presenting speeches or evaluations and vote takers. And you did very well for 20 persons. But only 1 or 2 suggestions I have got when you asked, offered, Madam Speaker, come up with 5 positive thoughts, to come with 1 negative thought, and what is stellar presentation. Yeah. Live life could die empty. Someone's opinion does not be reality. Bring your music to life. Don't let the goals of your unused creativity die. And last one, always ask yourself, did I live my life well? All 5 positive thoughts. What is it? Madam, for ladies we can't ask their age. But I want to ask, were you, in which year were you born?
18 years old, so with 45 years of experience.
Now you come. 18 to 45. Thank you. The one suggestion, 1 or 2 topics were slightly wrong. So people will take time or ask you to repeat. The Kollapan topic, that's one thing. Second, don't ask questions. If you ask questions, there will be yes or no. So there, to prove this one doesn't come. So your questions were, why Friday is called Friday? They say yes or no, that's right. Then should it make everybody happy? Questions should not be there. Just open-ended topic. Otherwise, you did a stellar performance. Yeah, you entertain the whole meetings to Sudipto, ask him to clap big. Yeah, very good. Then about Veterans Day, why war, how the table Toastmasters happening and all. But only one correction I want to tell you, there is no word, I have not come across the phrase, most gentlest. You called him most gentlest, you had called most gentle. This is our role as the evaluators, general evaluators. This is what we do. We teach each other in a group. I am not finding fault with things. We are correcting ourselves so that we learn about it. Now my request, my tag team, Mr. Puneet, you have been very busy showing me the cards. Still I have got 5 minutes.
Look, don't kill the timer. I believe most of you stuck to your time. I noticed a pattern with veterans. They speeden their speech when I show the red card, and so all the prepared speeches ended after 6.5 minutes or 7 minutes mark, depending on the speech project. A few quick notices I made was prepared speech segment was delayed by 2 minutes and table topic speech was delayed by 6 minutes. Because all of you are veterans, I expect you, no matter when you get the stage, to end it based on the agenda. So cut short or make it crisp or extend it based on the agenda. Back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Puneet. Madam Teresa, it's your turn now.
Mr. General Evaluator, esteemed guests and obedient Toastmasters, it is my pleasure today to felicitate these impeccable Toastmasters who had less than 2 clutch words or interjections or repeated word I can say. I'll just call out, just stand only for a few seconds. Toastmaster Umakant, Toastmaster Somshekhar, Sureka, Priyanka, Vijay Galmudri, Vishwanath, Dhanya, Suhas, Chaitra, Payal, Shruti, Shashank, Vishwanath, Chiran, Bruno, Vidya, Alan, Puneet, Mr. Robinson D'Souza, Dr. Rajdeep Panwani. Yes, please be seated. This shows that these members were very regular and taking roles. That is why there was no sort of any clutch word. Sureka, that already? Now I request actually Anna Victoria and VP8 to call out or give the slots to others, those who are not called so, because they had more than just 2 or less than 5 I can say. So please take more roles so that you will get our standing ovation. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Teresa. Now, Mr. Anand, you are in progress.
It's good to be back, and with my simple role of helping us all communicate better, it's really wonderful to see that the good usages outweigh the not so good usages. So here are some good usages that we saw in the meeting today. Dysnoma, trepidation, plethora, lush green sea of mountains, dense into your identity, reignited, hunky-dory, brought forth, imposing personality. Now, here are some of the usages that need some correction. In the jail could just be in jail. Much in a better way could be approach it better. How you overcome your angry could be how you overcome your anger. To join to Toastmasters could be to join Toastmasters. Searching and all could just be searching. Now in terms of the word usage of the day, we had Teresa, it's time. She acknowledged me. I'm giving her the compliment back. She used the word of the day. She whispered it into my ear, so I had to. No, I'm kidding. She used the word of the day. And Sudipto, who's the Toastmaster of the day, he has actually put in a lot of energy today. And he has used the word of the day twice, so he gets 2 helpings of today's snacks at 8:30. So thank you all, and back to the gentleman.
Thank you, everyone. Now, Mr. Sudipto, it's over to you.
are there, I think. So let's hear it for Thank you all for being such a good audience, and let me hand it back to the President, Hannah.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters Victor. A very brilliant job done. Thank you. While we wait for you can please vote on the group for different role players. It's veteran. Meanwhile, a few announcements to be made. December 16th is the elections of the club, and we also have a session from Professor Ramesh Venkateshwaran. The same gentleman who came to us at our induction will come again, and it's a brilliant session. So the topic will be shared on the group, so I request all of you all to make yourselves come in for that meeting, December 16th. December 30th will be a special celebration. It will be the last week of the year. So we will have a special celebration of the 25th year. We will end the 25th year of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club with a wrap-up session. And we also have a contest, a humor contest in the month of December. It will either be in the second or the third week, first or the second week, which we will announce. Yes. We'll start off with the awards which we have done. The Table Topic Speaker Award goes to Toastmaster Sureka. Two. One is Sureka ma'am and Toastmaster Chaitra.
Friday.
The Best Auxiliary Role Take Award goes to DTM Teresa. The Best Role Taker Award goes to Toastmaster Sunita Ghosh. Evaluator Award goes to DTM Dr. Rajdeep Manwani. And the Best Speaker Award goes to Toastmaster Somashekar.
I am accepting on behalf of Somashekar.
Thank you once again for each of you to spend your Friday evening learning something new. I hope the time was well worth the experience.